The 7th Infantry Brigade and Headquarters East is a formation in the British Army with a direct lineage to 7th Armoured Brigade and a history that stretches back to the Napoleonic Wars. It saw active service in the Crimean War, the Second Boer War and both World War I and World War II. In 2014, the 7th Armoured Brigade was redesignated as 7th Infantry Brigade, thereby ensuring that the famed Desert Rats continue in the British Army's order of battle. History: Waterloo Campaign. When Wellington organised his troops into numbered divisions for the Peninsular War, the component brigades were named for the commanding officer. For the 100 Days Campaign, he numbered his British infantry brigades in a single sequence, 1st to 10th. The 7th Brigade formed part of the 7th Division under the command of Major General Kenneth Mackenzie. It consisted of 2nd Battalion, 25th Regiment of Foot, 2nd Battalion, 37th Regiment of Foot, 2nd Battalion, 78th Regiment of Foot. It was assigned to garrison duty and so played no part in the Battle of Waterloo. Crimean War. The 7th Brigade formed part of the 4th Division in the Crimean War. At the Battle of the Alma, it was commanded by Brigadier General Arthur Wellesley Torrens and consisted of 20th Regiment of Foot, 21st Regiment of Foot, 68th Regiment of Foot. The brigade was present with the 4th Division at the Battle of Balaclava and played a more major role at the Battle of Inkerman. Second Boer War. After the relief of Ladysmith, part of the garrison of Ladysmith were reorganized into the 7th Brigade on 10 March 1900. It consisted of 1st Battalion, Devonshire Regiment, 1st Battalion, Manchester Regiment, 2nd Battalion, Gordon Highlanders, 2nd Battalion, Rifle Brigade. Initially commanded by Colonel W. G. Knox CB, it was taken over by Brigadier General Walter Kitchener on 26 March. The brigade formed part of Lyttelton's 4th Division and took part in Sir Edward Buller's advance north. In August 1900, it took part in the Battle of Bergen-Dahl, the last set-piece battle of the war. Post-war, the brigade was reformed in January 1906 as part of the 4th Division, before joining the 3rd Division in Southern Command in 1907. First World War. At the outbreak of the First World War in August 1914, the 7th Brigade was a regular army formation stationed at Tidworth and assigned to the 3rd Division. It mobilized with the division, crossed to France between 11 and the 16th of August, concentrated around Aulnoy and Avonay, and moved forward on the 21st of August 1914. Other than a brief period when it was reorganized in England in 1918, the brigade served with the 3rd and 25th Divisions on the Western Front throughout the war. 3rd Division. With the 3rd Division, the brigade took part in a large number of actions in 1914, the Battle of Mons and subsequent retreat including the action of Solesmes and the Battle of Locato. It then took part in the First Battle of the Marne and the Race to the Sea, First Battle of the Aisne, and the battles of La Bassée, Messines, Armentières, culminating in the First Battle of Ypres, notably the Battle of Non-Boschen. 1915 was relatively quieter, but included the first attack on Bellewaerde, Hooge, and the second attack on Bellewaerde. While with the 3rd Division, the brigade commanded 3rd Battalion, Worcestershire Regiment, 2nd Battalion, South Lancashire Regiment, 1st Battalion, Wiltshire Regiment, 2nd Battalion, Royal Irish Rifles, 1/1 of a Stone Battalion, Honourable Artillery Company, joined from 8th Infantry Brigade on 9 December 1914, left for GHQ troops on 14 October 1915. 4th Battalion, South Lancashire Regiment, joined on 24 February 1915 and became Divisional Pioneer Battalion on 12 October 1915. 25th Division. On the 18th of October 1915, 7th Brigade was posted to the 25th Division in exchange for 76th Brigade as part of a policy of stiffening new army divisions with regular units. Once there, it was extensively reorganized on the 26th of October. 2nd Battalion, Royal Irish Rifles transferred to 74th Brigade in exchange for 10th Battalion, Cheshire Regiment. 2nd Battalion, South Lancashire Regiment transferred to 75th Brigade in exchange for 8th Battalion, Loyal Regiment. On the 12th of January 1916, the brigade formed the 7th Machine Gun Company and was joined by the 7th Trench Mortar Battery on the 18th of June 1916. The brigade saw action in 1916 defending against the German attack on the Vimy Ridge, but particularly in the Battle of the Somme, including the battles of Albert-Bazentin Ridge, Pozières Ridge and Ancre Heights. In 1917 it saw action at the Battle of Messines and the Third Battle of Ypres. On the 13th of October 1917, 4th Battalion, South Staffordshire Regiment joined the brigade, and on the 10th of November the 3rd Battalion, Worcestershire Regiment transferred to 74th Brigade. On the 1st of March, the 7th Machine Gun Company joined the 74th, 75th and 195th Machine Gun Companies in the 25th Battalion, Machine Gun Corps. Due to a shortage of manpower, all British divisions on the Western Front were reduced from a 12-battalion to a 9-battalion basis in February 1918. As a consequence, 7th Brigade was reduced from 4 to 3 battalions. Almost immediately, the German Army's spring offensive fell upon the division. The 25th Division was remarkably unlucky, having faced the first German onslaught at the first battles of the Somme. It was moved north to refit, where it faced the second offensive in the battles of the Lys. It was once again moved south to acquire part of the line, where it was attacked for the third time in the Battle of the Aisne. Due to losses sustained, the division was withdrawn from the line and the brigades were reduced to cadre. The divisional and brigade HQs returned to England with 10th Cheshires and 10 other training cadre battalions, arriving on the 30th of June. For the 7th Brigade this meant 10th Battalion, Cheshire Regiment was reduced to training cadre on the 21st of June and went to England with the brigade. 4th Battalion, South Staffordshire Regiment joined No. 1 Battalion, Composite Brigade on the 21st of June and transferred with it to 50th Division the next day. 1st Battalion, Wiltshire Regiment transferred to 110th Brigade, 21st Division on the 20th of June. 7th Trench Mortar Battery was broken up on the 18th of June and the personnel helped to form a light TM battery for the Composite Brigade. 8th Battalion, Leicestershire Regiment joined as a TC from 110th Brigade, 21st Division at Boulogne on the 30th of June and went to England with the brigade. 13th Battalion, East Surrey Regiment joined as a TC from 119th Brigade, 40th Division at Boulogne on the 30th of June and went to England with the brigade. The brigade arrived in England on the 30th of June and went to Mitch at Camp Aldershot. Soon after, the TC battalions left the brigade for Eastern Command, where they were reformed. The brigade HQ returned to France with 25th Division HQ on the 15th of September, arriving at Saint-Riquier near Abbeville the next day. Units left behind in France rejoined the division between then and the 19th of October. The brigade was reformed on the 16th of September with battalions withdrawn from the Italian front. 9th Battalion, Devonshire Regiment from 20th Brigade, 7th Division. 20th Battalion, Manchester Regiment from 22nd Brigade, 7th Division. 21st Battalion, Manchester Regiment from 91st Brigade, 7th Division. 7th Trench Mortar Battery began reforming on the 13th of October. Thereafter the brigade took part in the final advance to victory, notably in the battles of the Hindenburg Line, Battle of the Beaurevoir Line, Battle of Cambrai, and pursuit to the Selle, and the final advance in Picardy, Battle of the Selle and Battle of the Sambre. Second World War. The brigade continued in existence throughout the interwar period, seeing numerous changes in its composition and eventually, in the late 1930s, leading to it being redesignated 7th Infantry Brigade. At the outbreak of the Second World War in September 1939, the 7th Infantry Brigade was, once again, assigned to the 3rd Infantry Division, commanded at the time by Major General Bernard Montgomery, in Southern Command. It was stationed at Pierrebright with the following units under command: 1st Battalion, Grenadier Guards, 2nd Battalion, Grenadier Guards, 1st Battalion, Coldstream Guards, 7th Infantry Brigade Anti-Tank Company. The brigade moved to France with the rest of the 3rd Infantry Division on the 30th of September 1939 as part of the British Expeditionary Force and remained there, serving alongside the French Army until May 1940. It first saw action against the German Army's offensive in Belgium and France, notably on the Ypres-Camins Canal, before being evacuated from Dunkirk to the United Kingdom by the 1st of June. On the 15th of September 1941, it was converted to the Guards Support Group. The 37th Infantry Brigade Infantry Division joined the 3rd Infantry Division on the 27th of November 1941. And on the 8th of December it was redesignated as 7th Infantry Brigade. At this time it commanded 2nd Battalion, South Wales Borderers, 2, 6th Battalion, East Surrey Regiment, 6th Battalion, Royal Sussex Regiment. The brigade served with the 9th Armoured Division from June 1942 until July 1944, when the division was disbanded, followed by the 47th Infantry Division from the 10th of September 1944 until August 1945. On the 30th of September 1944, it was reorganized as a reserve brigade, whereupon it was redesignated as the 7th Infantry Brigade. The brigade remained in the United Kingdom throughout. By the end of the war, the brigade structure was 13th Battalion, Queen's Royal Regiment, 12th Battalion, Royal Fusiliers, 2, 6th Battalion, East Surrey Regiment, 2, 4th Battalion, Essex Regiment. Current formation. On the 5th of March 2013, the British Secretary of State for Defence, Philip Hammond, announced that the 7th Armoured Brigade would have its Challenger 2 tanks and heavy armoured battalions removed over the next decade. The brigade itself will be redesignated as the 7th Infantry Brigade, but retain its famed Desert Rats insignia. On the 24th of February 2015, the brigade formally stepped out of its armour role into that of an infantry brigade and regional point of command. At the same time, 49 Brigade merged into 7th Infantry Brigade. 7th Infantry Brigade and Headquarters East in Chilwell, 1st Queen's Dragoon Guards in Swanton Morley with Jackal reconnaissance vehicles. Royal Yeomanry in London with Land Rover RWMIK reconnaissance vehicles. 1st Battalion, Royal Anglian Regiment in Woolwich. 3rd Battalion, Princess of Wales's Royal Regiment in Canterbury. 2nd Battalion, Royal Anglian Regiment in Cottesmore with Foxhound vehicles. 3rd Battalion, Royal Anglian Regiment in Bury St Edmunds. 1st Battalion, Royal Irish Regiment in Turnhill. 2nd Battalion, Royal Irish Regiment in Lisburn. Commanding Officers. The 7th Brigade had the following commanders from January 1906. Bibliography. Beck Major A.F. Order of Battle of Divisions Part 1. The Regular British Divisions. London, His Majesty's Stationery Office. ISBN 1871167094. Beck Major F. Order of Battle of Divisions Part 3A. New Army Divisions. London, His Majesty's Stationery Office. ISBN 1871167086. Frederick J. B.M. Lineage Book of British Land Force 1660–1978. Wakefield, Yorkshire. Microform Academic Publishers. ISBN 1851170009X. James Brigadier E.A. British Regiments 1914–18. London, Samson Books Limited. ISBN 0906304032. Jocelyn L.T. Cole H.F. Orders of Battle. Second World War 1939–1945. London, London Stamp Exchange. ISBN 0948130032. Reed, Stuart. Wellington's Army in the Peninsula 1809–14. Volume 2 of Battle Order Series. Oxford, Osprey Publishing. ISBN 1841765171.